Hi, welcome to the stream. I'm corneliusvango. You know, there's only a few people in chat because my original stream, I had some issues with it, with the startup. So I'm going to give folks a chance to find the chat because a lot of people probably had it bookmarked on the original stream, and I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to drop some more heavy shit this week, and for probably some of the first few folks joining, you already know my story, but I looked and actually before I dig into and do my intro here, I'm gonna just give people a chance to join, find the room, because yeah, it's a good time. My trauma is your content. And if you're an early bird and you want to be super cool and get me in a good mood for the stream, you can totally throw it down. There's money links in the description there. And you can see I've got some ambiance here. I've actually been letting videos like that run in the background, not even because I'm like looking at the trains. Ooh, I got shit in my tooth. It's probably tobacco. Ah, gross. Okay, cool. Not because I'm even like foaming or anything, but just because it's really soothing to have the ambient train sounds. Here, I'll turn it up for you. The ambient train sounds in the background, it's really, really calming. Oops, wrong thing. Yes, I live in the back rooms. This is my entertainment. Old YouTube videos from a dead internet. I'm actually in one of the back rooms in the very office building that you work in. It's a secret room. Oh, here we go. Let's see. It's just nice. Just like the machines rumbling and the squealy brakes and the clang clang. I'm not gonna have that in the background the whole time though, because it's probably not, it probably doesn't sound as good over my lav mic, but you get the idea. It's nice. Very calming. Okay, we got some folks in here. So I did this talk basically, I want to say maybe 5 years ago now, where like for the longest time on my YouTube channel, I just like didn't tell people what happened. I'm an amputee. I'm a below the knee amputee. Yeah. And I didn't tell people, like, and if they asked, I would just like school them about why it's rude to ask handicapped people why they're handicapped. Oops, I'm bumping the table, sorry. And I kind of used that as like a sort of an educational tool. But then it got to a point where like I was in a much worse position than I am now, which is pretty bad. And I had an ill-fitting leg like I do now, but it was so bad, and I was living in slabs, so I was like outdoors doing chores all the time, in the sand, in the dirt, like outdoors in the elements, homesteading, and that's hard. And I got some crazy ass like suction sores on the bottom of my nub, and I ended up having to like lance them. But for a while, it was so swollen and gnarly that I couldn't wear my leg for about 2 weeks. And so that's when I decided to do my initial talk and like kind of break the silence on that and do like a big, you know, here's my story, here's what happened. So if you want to go look at that with all like the gory details and whatnot, I did that. I can't watch it because it was during my drinking days, and like I was obviously really upset and drunk and, you know, telling a traumatic story. But when I did that live stream, I didn't ride trains yet. I didn't ride trains the way that I do now. I'm a rail rider, and I can say that confidently now. It's been a little over 2 years since I started riding, maybe almost 3 now. I'm not sure. I don't really keep track of time that well. But I'm finally at the point where I don't consider myself green anymore, which is what you call somebody that is new to riding trains. So I thought, since I'm pretty much laid up like I was then, in less of a shitty situation, I mean, I made the best of it. I had good support and lots of friends, and yeah, but it was awful. And but you know, 5 years later, why not revisit and kind of talk about my story in a more like end of a cycle, beginning of a new cycle, kind of look back on it and how I've grown and changed because of that experience, and things that I'm grateful for in that, and kind of what riding trains means to me in that context. So that's kind of what I want to touch on today. But I'm gonna crack open a fresh, not brewski. It's a new brew. It's got kratom and kava in it, so that'll get me feeling kind of nice for this talk. Cheers, reprobates. Thanks for joining me today. Now, how many of you people in the chat today have seen the original video where I talk about my accident and what happened? And how many of you are new and maybe you came here because of the train content that you saw? Because I think that's one of the biggest draws that is bringing a lot of people in. I've got a lot more new subscribers this month than I've had like maybe ever, or maybe it's like the second time that this has happened where I've gotten a lot of new subscribers, and I think it's from like one of my train videos, and it's not even my good one either. It's the first one that I did when I was still really, really green, and I re-rode the first ride that I was taken on before I did my first cross-country trip. So it was kind of like I rode trains around that kind of perimeter, cycled back to where I started, and did that ride all by myself, and that's the video I made. And it does focus on what I have to do to maintain my leg. Like there's the whole montage where I'm riding. Like the first thing that I do is like wash my hands and get them clean, and like take off my leg and rinse out the liner and get everything all nice, because like in that Louisiana heat, my liner gets sweaty as hell, and it was really, really humid and muggy that day, and I had like it was stinging because, like, you know, dirt gets inside of there, and dirt and sweat really makes for really raw skin when you're walking on it like that. Oh yeah, I said cheers and I didn't drink this. All right, double cheers. Hey. Theo says, I've seen that video where you talked about your train accident. Awesome. Yeah, I'm doing it now again with more insight and experience. So yeah, if you're new, you don't really need to go back and watch that. If you want to see how far I've come, like as a person, in that amount of time, then like go check it out. It's kind of wild. Like I've gone through a whole like character development arc, and it's the learning how to ride trains and getting that experience under my belt has been absolutely pivotal for that development. So I guess I just want to take a moment and say, like, thank you to fellow riders that gave me information and advice and like counsel and support when I was first trying to learn how to ride, like from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I owe a lot to Hobo Shoestring too. When I was working on sorting books in the anarchist library I was at, I just binge listened to his videos, and that's how I learned a lot of like the mundane, like just train facts and protocol, and you know, just kind of got a feel for what to expect while tramping and riding. And if you've been following me for a while too, you know that backpacking and tramping and living rough was not a new thing to me. So like I didn't have that part of the learning curve when I was getting into riding trains. So I already had like a pretty sweet backpack set up, and like knew how to survive outdoors for long periods of time, indefinitely actually. And that was always kind of my forte. Like somebody mentioned my Alaska series earlier. Let's see. Keith Placco says, been following since Alaska series. That's awesome, man. And like that kind of, those earlier series where I was backpacking and adventuring were kind of like the precursor to learning how to ride the rails. And I'm not interested on my channel in like teaching people how to do that, because believe it or not, I actually don't condone riding trains. I don't know too many riders that do. It's just one of those things that you do, and you know that it's like, it's a deeply personal thing. And I've had a number of people come cross with me about, because they never actually watch my videos, but they think because a lot of people do this online, like content creators, train surfers, and like whatever, they're not like in the traveler culture. They just kind of start, they get their hands on some information and they start riding around, and then they're always with their camera out. They have to document every single moment because it's all for clout, and they blow up spots by showing locations, and it's hard not to. And that's something that I'm always concerned about. There was I asked a friend about one of my videos that she had seen, and was like, you know, give it to me straight. Like, is there anything like objectionable? And she was like, well, you know, I want to be upset about showing the hop out that you were at, but I mean, I know that the rail workers already know about that, and you know, and like what so I threw a ringer in that one, and I don't want to toot my own horn. Toot toot. Sorry, that was lame. I'm lame. I'm handicapped. I'm missing a leg. I take offense to that. Oh, I've offended myself. Okay, I'm getting derailed here. Shit. So the thing about that is that particular spot, and if you're a rail yard worker and you're hearing this, no, you didn't. That's not even the spot. We went to a shitty spot that had no cover to throw them off. So now if the rail yard workers did see that video, they're gonna think that they've got the spot, and they don't. And if you know, you know. And if you're a friend of mine, I'll tell you where the spots are, because Minneapolis is my fucking stomping grounds. That's my hometown. That's where I was born. Oh, speaking of being born, it's my birthday in a couple weeks here, and I'm still stuck in LA. I'm still in a lot of pain, and I'm fucking out of money. A few folks kicked down yesterday, and I meant to write your names down so I could shout you out today, but sorry, I didn't. I'll send you a little thank you notes in a sec after the stream. And yeah, so if y'all want to help me out, I need to pay off. I've been busting my ass all summer to like get my adult shit together, and like really not holding back. So I had to pay off a few things and get some medical supplies out of pocket, unfortunately. I made some appointments and such, but I also had to pay off a fine that I almost missed, and I have one more fine that I have to pay in order to keep my license. So that is due before, like, I think the deadline is like a couple days after my birthday, so that kind of sucks. It's $175, and that's the next thing on my docket to take care of. So if you want to help me out for my birthday, then that would be great, because I would like to not be broke because I had to pay a fine on my birthday. There's links in the description. Check them out. PayPal, Venmo, Cashapp. I'm checking up in chat here. Yeah. Lemonade says, "Hey, handsome, what's up? You know how to talk to a fella. Strange Days Diary has been following since your Slab vlogs when you lived in the van at Slabs years ago." I still live at Slabs, like, technically. That's where my home address is. It's just a county away. And I was just in Imperial County a few days ago taking care of this adult shit that I was talking about, which is a super drag, and it ate up all the rest of my money, all the fucking funds that kind people like you guys kicked down during my last few live streams. So yeah, I'm on the hustle, and I'm trying to hit these, like, hard-hitting live streams. Okay, I'm just gonna keep checking up in chat. I want to catch up to the bottom here. It's like, what is it, Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill? No, it's not Sisyphus, is it? I don't know. I'm stoned. How's the sound, by the way? Can you guys hear me okay? I know the AC is creating like a droning sound, but I can't help that. If I let it get hot in here, then my stream might drop, and I really don't want it to drop, so let me know how the sound is. Watch the train vids way back and Slabs videos. Rest in peace, Shoestring. Hell yeah. To Hobo Shoestring, Mark Nichols. Very sweet man. Very sweet man. I spoke to him on a couple of occasions. Before I put out my first train video, the one that has the most views, I messaged him on Facebook. I wasn't really expecting a reply, because I'm sure he gets tons of people messaging him on everywhere, because he was a legend, and a very well-liked guy. But he got back to me pretty quick, and I asked him, like, "Hey dude, I'm a pretty new rider, and I'm putting out my first video," and kind of gave him a little, like, Cliff Notes version of what was up, and asked if he had any, like, advice or something that I should, like, stay away from or avoid showing, or, like, just something that I might not know, having never uploaded train videos to YouTube before. And he was just, like, so fucking chill about it. He was just like, "Oh, that's awesome, man. Like, fuck yeah." I mean, he doesn't talk like that, but he was like, "Yeah, that's awesome." And, like, pretty much just said, like, "Oh, just be careful with copyright stuff." I was like, I've got some video of me in a unit. Like, is that a problem? He's like, "Nah, I post videos of me in units all the time. Nobody gives a shit." So, I was like, okay, because that was the thing I was actually worried about, because I had some people who do not ride trains hit me up, and they were like, "Be careful when you post pictures about whatever, because you're going to get, I don't know, you're going to get harassed by the feds or something." Just whatever. So I was, I was wanting to get some opinions before uploading, just so that I didn't cause any trouble for anybody or myself. And yeah, and he even, like, followed up afterward. Like, I didn't hit him up again because I didn't want to be, like, one of those people, because I get that a lot too as a YouTuber, where, like, people will just, like, message me all the time, and I'm like, dude, I don't know you, like, like, I don't not care, but also I only have so much time and energy to respond to people in a day, right? But, like, he hit me back up, like, a couple weeks later or something, and was just like, "Hey, how's it going? Like, how are you doing? Where have you been? I just got off of this line, and here's some pictures." It was so wholesome and cute, like, and that's how that's the experience I've gotten from like all the old timer hobos that I've met. Like I went to Hobo Days that year that I released my first video, and I met all of those older, some still riding, mostly retired, like hobos and lady hobos. I don't know. They're from an older generation, so it's worth denoting, you know, that there were and are also lady hobos, and they're super epic, actually. And like those elders were so accepting and caring. They didn't really get the pronouns thing, most of them, but like they try. Shout out to Jules in Minneapolis. Very, very kind person. Huge support for the train community and rail riders and rail fans and retired hobos alike. I love you, Jules. And I don't want to shout out, I don't want to be name dropping too many names, because most folks that ride are pretty private. But I received so much support, and it was just so special to meet all of these different folks at Hobo Days. I wish I could have been there this year. It just happened recently, and obviously I'm here. I couldn't even do like a quick trip over anywhere because my leg hurts so bad. Like I can hardly even wear it. Like after I'm done with the stream right now, I'm gonna take it off and just like keep it elevated and work on sewing. Oh, I'm working on seasonal attire. I'm gonna show you guys. And then also I'm gonna catch up in chat. I'm gonna try to stay focused and get all the way to the bottom of the chat. I might skip over some questions or whatever. But if you have questions about anything that I've said up until this point, feel free to ask, and I'll check on that. But here's my jacket. I got this from a very awesome person who I care about very much, and well, actually, she loaned it to a younger lady hobo. Another good friend of mine, because we were working beats, and she didn't have a decent jacket, because, you know, when you're backpacking, you want to carry light stuff, and if you need like a work jacket or something, you're just going to score something for that time being and then ditch it, and that's what she did. She wore this during beats and ditched it on her way out from the job, and I picked it up and I've been wearing it ever since. So I've added, I'm giving it kind of a late summer vibe here. We got some nice flowers. This is what is it called? I know the word for this. I think this is the ADHD. I just like forget things that I know. Embroidery. This is an embroidered patch that I scored at a thrift store. And this is another embroidered, I don't know if this is embroidered or what you call this. Whoops. Don't fuck up my shit. I also got this at a thrift store, and I'm going to make a sick back patch for my jacket, so it's going to have some like nice late summer vibes. How about that? You're working beats in the dead of, or not the dead of, you don't do beats in the dead of winter. You do beats, like at the beginning of winter or like late fall, right? And you're slogging through the mud, you're having a terrible time, you're chucking beats across the yard, etc. And you know, you see these beautiful hand-stitched images of late summer. I think that'll be a nice vibe. I'm not doing beats this year. I can't, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm gonna keep being broke for a while, and that sucks. But that's kind of why I'm hitting the. I already said this. That's why I'm hitting the YouTube streams. So if there's other topics you'd like to hear me talk about, let me know. All right, I'm gonna check up in chat here, and then I'm gonna rant some more about my experience and trains and stuff. Do you still have Satan? What kind of fucking question is that? I don't know why people come into live streams that of people that they haven't watched in a while. I've streamed like every day this week, and Satan's been in every single stream. And I do owe her a treat, her live stream treat. Captain Mello says, the first video I saw of yours, you had dreads and did summer survival tips in the slabs. Yes, I did have Dreadhawk at one point. And before you get at me about white dreads, I'm just going to defend myself here. I was living outdoors. I did not bathe in anything except for a natural body of water for like 5 years or so. And I did not wear shoes, and like my bath was in the hot spring in slabs or in the canal, so there's a lot of sediment in that. Anyway, I'm not going to go on a white dreads rant. I do not support white dreads as like a social phenomena, obviously, but I think that if you're living it, then you're living it, and that's all I need to say about that, I think. And my an aside, also, my little brother, who is a beautiful black man, did roast me lightly about it. Just, vibe checking, which I really don't blame him, because, that's what you do with your siblings. You make sure they're not going around looking stupid. And I was aware that I did look stupid, and I didn't care, because I was barefoot in a loincloth living in the fucking sand. And it just wasn't worth it to comb my hair and keep combing it out. And there was, it was function over aesthetic. So that's, anyway. Train ride with Satan. I always take Satan. I don't know if I've ever... Whoops, I keep hitting the table. I don't know if I've ever ridden a train without Satan, actually. Hobo Cyclist said, did you read Duffy Littlejohn's book, Hopping Freight Trains in USA? No, I did not. I've never heard of that. Dave says, I'm tapped till payday. No, you're good, dude. You fucking threw down yesterday. You're good, man, and you're helping out in chat. That's awesome. That's huge for me. Thank you. What a sweetheart. None of you ever feel bad if you don't have the money to kick down to me. If you're also in the same position, then you're fine. You get a pass. Now, if you're somebody sitting on more money than you know what to do with, and you just spent like a stupid amount of money on something that you don't even really care about, and you've been watching my videos for like a while, and you've never kicked down before, then you should feel bad. That's the people that should be feeling some type of way about that. But for the reprobates, you know who you are. You're fucking, you're friends. You're fine. But yeah, my birthday is coming up. I'm gonna mention that probably every stream until it happens, because you guys should be nice to me. Sound is good. Thanks, Repeat Defender. I appreciate that. Everybody's saying sounds good. Great. Awesome. Sherry says, I used to love the cooking vids. I also love doing cooking videos, and I could totally do that. Yeah, I should do a cooking video sometime this week. Folks, give me ideas for recipes that I could cook in, like a little hobo kettle, or on a skillet and a single burner, or over a fire or something. What's your cooking ideas? Hogger just says, like Jose Sanders? No. Ew. I'm gonna just put you in timeout for 30 minutes for mentioning that person. What says, oh my gosh, yes, your pronoun videos were very helpful. I played them for my mom, and it helped her not to be prejudiced towards my friends. Yes, that's awesome. And also, like, kudos to your mom for not being offended by my wildly vulgar language. That's awesome. Your mom must be pretty punk rock, actually. I wish I could temper my my language, but it really is difficult for me. Is it just money keeping you stuck in LA, or is other shit going on? Repeat defender. That is like, that's a good question, but it's like that's the whole situation that I'm in, and I did a whole talk about it. I want to say last week about like what the prosthetic leg making process is like, and so I've been in LA for almost 5 months now, and I've never had getting a prosthetic leg made take longer than like 4 months, and that was kind of crazy when that one, and that totally ruined. I was planning and had purchased the gear, or otherwise like bartered for, etc. Got kicked down gear to take a canoe trip down the Mississippi from the headwaters in Minnesota down to New Orleans, and that was going to be my first time in New Orleans, and I had it like all planned out. I did all the research. I was training. I was ready, and because the process for getting my prosthetic took so long, I ended up missing the window of time where I would go and have enough time to do the trip. Like I would have had to start in early summer, and by the time I had my leg made, it was like summer was halfway over, and that sucked. So it's like, that's why I'm here in LA. I've been dipping in and out as needed, because Slabs is just a few hours away, and I'm probably gonna take a mission to my car next or pretty soon and start working on getting that rolling again. Once I'm a little bit further along in straightening out my license situation. That's why I've been storing it. But so I've between appointments, it's like sometimes 2 weeks for them to make the adjustments to the test socket, and so like I'll come into LA, do the appointment, whatever, figure out what I need to do next, and then like go on a little mini adventure or something, or like hang out here in the studio and work on my projects, which is what I've been doing more of lately because I'm in more and more pain. So yeah, that's why I'm in LA. It's all tied back into the leg being handicapped. Like I come off very free and like not tied to anything. A lot of people think I'm just out here doing, my nose is so itchy. Just like having no responsibilities or like whatever, and that's just not true. I'm physically handicapped, and I have neurological disabilities as well, which is something that I talked about a couple weeks ago with my autistic series. And yeah, sometimes my health and physical issues get to a point that I kind of have to become stranded for a while. So I actually plan my adventure cycles according to when I predict that I'm going to need more maintenance, upkeep, and repair like on my prosthetic, and that's the main thing that I kind of have to tangle with. So it's like, once I get a new leg, it's like, oh yeah, hell yeah, baby, I'm gonna go hard for the next like 3 years, just fucking tramping hard, doing whatever the hell I want. Stomping around, climbing stuff, lots of hiking, lots of camping, just getting into it. And then around like, a little bit before that, I'll start thinking, you know, maybe around after a year or two of tramping, which is where I'm at now. I hit the road from slabs again in 2021, I think, 2022. So it's been about 3 years, or a little over 3 years maybe, since I stopped like long-term living at the library in Slab City and went back to my nomadic lifestyle. And this is the longest I've sat in one place since then. Like 5 months is a really long time to a vagabond. It's I'm in a position where I'm starting to like accept what's going on and that I'm probably not going to be out of here for a while still, and kind of allowing myself to acquire a few new things, like you know, some fun city attire. I usually, like, when I'm living out of my backpack, I don't acquire new things. I don't want to acquire new things because then you have to carry them or find somewhere to store them, and it's inconvenient. And but you know, I've picked up a few nice things. Actually, I want to wear my other shirt because I'm a little warm in this. It was nice and cool this morning, but it's still warm. Hold on. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna get Satan a little treat. Oh, why am I only wearing one shoe? There we go. Let's get you a little treat, baby. And I'm gonna put on this shirt. Who wants to see my bod? All right, somebody's got to get down with the kick down, and I'm gonna take my shirt off. Who wants to see it? I'm serious. I'm fucking broke. Somebody get down with the kick down. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go sit in the tree. Oh yeah, and also I don't have my mic on me. Okay. Also, any proceeds from live streaming that don't go directly to basic needs go to providing nice, expensive, delicious little munchy bones to Satan. Stinky bully sticks. Here's a stinky dog with the stinky bully stick. Yeah. And I got her this nice little corn toy, which is super cute. Look at that. She loves this thing. So yeah, that's what you're supporting. And also this. Yeah. This hurts. It hurts a lot right now. Yeah, that's the thing. And if you're interested in like the whole actual like prosthetic and like how it works and stuff, I do break it down completely in I should have put links in my description to those videos, but I did. Oh yeah, I forgot. Anybody get down with the kick down? Let's see. I'm not seeing anything in my notifications. I tried to fix them, but I don't know if they got fixed. I guess nobody wants to see my bod. That's alright. I got abs now, guys. Hobo Cyclist says, letting yourself have stuff is the hardest part of living on the road. I'm always cutting down. You know, I kind of look at it like I get rid of things as quickly as I acquire new things. So like if I want new things, I have to figure out what I'm going to let go first. All right, we got 69 people in chat. Hell yeah. If any mods want to be like super sweet, if you could look up that last video that I did where I talk about the prosthetic fitting process. Oh, actually, here, let's see. I can do that too. Somebody beat me to it though. I double dare you. Prosthetic fitting process. Let's see how quick mine pulls up. I've got a bunch of prosthetic videos actually, including a series that I did. It's called like Cornelius Prosthetic Saga or something, and that's when I was going into San Diego to get this one made. No, it was the one before this one. I didn't record this one. Oh, hey, Satan, I'm sorry. Here, let me get you water. Ooh. Forgot about my Thai tea. I put it in the freezer so it would stay like it is, and now it's like, it's perfect. Alright, I'm just gonna assume that somebody got down with the kickdown. This is for the folks that kicked down yesterday, alright? Yeah. We got abs, baby. Oh yeah. I don't actually know how people are supposed to flex, but it's like, look at those lats, eh? Hell yeah. And I got, oh hey, there's my pilot tattoo. I know I've shown this before, but I love it. I don't miss beats. Oops. Oh yeah. Sorry, you guys can't hear me at all. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I don't miss beats, but I kind of do in a weird, fucked up way. Spooky season. Alright. 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 Okay. There we go. We're gonna do the Hoochie Daddy one button, okay? Here we go. Oh yeah, and FYI, I don't know who knows this or not. If you watch my channel, you probably already do, but like, let me tell you, it may come as a surprise, but like, most of the best rail riders that I've met are trans or queer, and I think that's beautiful. There's a pretty strong niche or subcategory of hobos that are trans, autistic, and punk or punk adjacent, and that's very comforting to me. I'm not the only one, believe it or not. I'm not as unique as you guys think I am. There's a bunch more, and a lot of them do what I do, but better. And they don't make videos about it because they're just in it, and that's awesome. All right. Satan stays acting like a puppy even though all the years. I know, she's really still energetic. I noticed that she's slowing down a little bit, but yeah. I looked at a picture that I took of her. It was one of the first pictures I took on my very first like Android phone, and it was in Alaska. And her face is like so much darker. That's on my Instagram. Follow my Instagram if you wanna. I post pictures of Satan on my Instagram pretty much every day. Satan is around 8 years old, correct? Let's see. Sorry I didn't catch the whole story before. Sucks you've been waiting so long for your leg. I'm disabled with chronic pain too. Really emphasize I'm also trans, ADHD, in my 40s. Oh hell yeah, man. I mean, not like cool. You have struggles, but like, you know, like that's you're like me. You have a similar situation. I think that's really neat. To like connect with somebody like that. Oh yeah, what was I looking up? Here we go, Cornelius. There we go, let's see if we can find it. Awesome, here it is. I'm just gonna post that in the chat so you guys can take a look at that afterward if you want. We're going on my own channel while I'm streaming. View your channel. If you guys don't ever go to my homepage, you should go to my homepage once in a while. There's playlists, and I'm gonna update some of these playlists too. Oh hey, there's me. It's an Inception. Hi Cornelius. That is strange. Oh, cool. Look at my neck. Yeah, I got some sick tattoos. Damn. God, I love that shit. Okay. This is... Yes. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna post that link. There's the last one that I did about like the actual... Oh, I don't know if that worked. But the whole actual process. Oh, I'm wearing the same shirt too. So like, and I talk about that in depth, like how you make a leg, etc. And yeah, it's informative if you want to know like details or whatever. But I'm kind of more just talking about trains today. That also ties into the autism thing too. Like a big part of my self-actualization journey in the last few years. I want to say probably like 3 years proper. I quit drinking, which was big, but I think I went through the steps in chronological order. Actually, it started with riding trains, actually. But before it started with riding trains, it was hitting the road again, becoming nomadic, stepping away from the library, and then riding trains. And after a bit of that, I ended up at a very legendary squat that doesn't exist anymore in Chicago, and I took my first dose of testosterone, and after that, I no longer had the deep, overwhelming depression that I had been dealing with since as long as I can remember. And that allowed me kind of the standing, no pun intended, to come to grips with a lot of my trauma from the past. And that was necessary for me to get to the point where I was able to quit drinking. And with quitting drinking, I've also been able to reflect on myself, which was something that I didn't avoid like reflecting on myself. I've always been trying to become a better person, but like I just wasn't able to address who I was fully until I quit drinking. And that was I quit drinking for real finally after like years of struggling, about 9 months ago now. And folks that were here will remember an incident that anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent about that right now, but I have not had the desire to pick drinking back up since then. And in that, very recently, I have come to grips with being an autistic person as well, which was kind of like the final, you know, the symbol for like autism awareness is a puzzle piece, because it's like, it really is like finding that missing piece of the puzzle that makes the picture complete. So that's where I'm at now. And I literally, like, I've known kind of on a deeper level that I am autistic for like, you know, I've been chewing on that one for like the last decade, but I didn't really know that much about it. And so it was a missing piece of the puzzle. So now we're here with like the full spectrum of Cornelius emerging into a healthier and more powerful and compassionate entity, and all of those components were imperative for reaching this level of self-acceptance and self-empowerment that I am learning to wield. So yeah, it's been a journey. Good job on abs. You're a good kid. I'm 35. I know I don't look it, but I'm about to be 36 in like 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm old. Sometimes people are like, "Look at those bags under your eyes." Like, first off, I don't sleep well. Second, I'm a pothead. Third, I'm fucking old. And I think I actually look pretty damn good for 35. If we're gonna be on the real, I think I look fucking awesome. I want to hear that train riding album. I don't have a train riding album, but like, do I have any songs about riding trains even? I don't think I even have any songs about riding trains. That's crazy. I should write a song about riding trains. I just kind of felt like I can't start writing songs about riding trains until I've been doing it for a while. Now I have been, so maybe I could. But yeah, I don't want to come off like a poser. But also, I literally got run over by a train, so I don't think that I'm good. Like, I can do what the fuck I want. I sacrificed a literal body part to the rails. So, yeah. If anybody's got anything to say about it, they can kiss my ass. Yeah, I don't got shit to prove to anybody. Yeah. So the autistic realization was like a missing puzzle piece for me with like understanding a lot of things that I didn't understand about like relationships in the past, and issues that I've had with like misunderstandings in friend groups and things like that. But also it was something that is tying back into my passion for trains. And like, everybody knows that nobody loves trains the way that autistic people love trains. Now, I'm not saying every single autistic person loves trains, but there's a pretty hefty niche category of autistic people that really, really, really love trains. And I'm one of those people. And I was so fascinated and like just enthralled by them as a kid. And like undiagnosed autistic, and often just kind of like unsupervised, which I preferred. But understanding that about myself, and like the reasons why I was so drawn to the railway that I grew up nearby, it kind of adds up, you know, because I used to hang out at that train bridge like every day alone with my little sketchbook. Sometimes I'd climb up on the signal light tower and like just sit up there. And sometimes I would climb around on the underside of the bridge and like, you know, getting little things that I wasn't supposed to be getting into. There was a creek that passed right underneath that bridge. Actually, I'm going to show you my tattoo. This is the bridge number. Every number or every train bridge has a number, or like any other well, they have like mile markers, I guess, and this is like the bridge mile marker. And yeah, that's it, 1 through 1.5. A lot of people see it and they see like, you know, a little bit of it and they just assume I got a 1312, which is a cab, and that's cool too. So it's like, it's a train core tattoo, but it's kind of low key undercover. But yeah, that's the train bridge I got run over on. I used to hang out at that spot like every day. There was beautiful forest, you know, it's in fucking back-ass Minnesota, so it's just like, it was a really peaceful place. And you know, as kids we would like put quarters on the rail and they get smashed, or like the trains that would pass by there were on their way to Duluth, and most of them, or from Duluth, to or from, and a lot of them were carrying taconite, which is a metal that they mine for up in northern Minnesota around Lake Superior. And they have like it gets brought over by barges, and you know, big ass boats full of taconite from like Wisconsin comes across Lake Superior, and then they load that onto the trains and bring it south. So there was always, I thought this was just a train thing. I didn't know what this shit was, but there's all these little taconite balls that would be all along the ballast, and they're perfect for slingshots. So I would go over there and like hang out, and I'd grab a little bag full of or a couple pockets full of those little taconite balls, and you know, just have those for all sorts of stuff. You know, you put them in a sack and hit somebody with them. I never did that, I'm just kidding. But or like, I just would have them, like I'd have bowls of them sitting around, and like I think every delinquent kid in my area had a bowl of taconite balls somewhere in their room, or at least like a handful of them somewhere. But yeah, and sometimes I would skip school to go hang out there. At the time that I got run over, I was in a part, like a special ed program. So this totally does tie back into like the autistic thing too. But like, I always had trouble in school. I was in special ed at different points in my life, not because I was dumb, but because they basically, because I have a pretty high IQ. They ran me through a bunch of tests back then, and you know, of course it's gonna come up like high IQ, but obviously I was, you know, special in some way, because I just, you know, and it wasn't like, some teachers thought that I was just a bad kid and that I just didn't want to do things and I was being obstinate. But I was really struggling with, nice, Coaster Fan 2105, thank you. That was like a recurring theme in my schooling, where I just would be struggling in class, or to like, you know, in a number of ways, and my teachers would just be like shitty to me about it. Like, they just thought that I was trying to piss them off on purpose instead of like genuinely needing help. So I ended up in this like program, or not program. I was being, I don't know, I was being homeschooled for like part of the day, and then going to public school for the other part of the day. And I wasn't actually doing like homeschool. It was like self-directed schooling. It was basically just kind of a way that my mom kind of helped me get a free pass out of being tortured in school for as much as I was. And you know, and that was a good thing, because I really struggled in school. It was awful, actually. I have school PTSD that I'm still working through. But that was one of those days that I had a half day and was to be doing my self-directed homeschooling. But instead, of course, I went out to the train bridge to go play, and I had hopped trains on the fly, which is when they're moving, a few times, just, you know. And folks, if you think riding trains is cool and you're interested in that sort of thing, do not under any circumstances try to get on a freight train without having basic knowledge of what you should and should not do on a train, and how they work, like safety procedure. Like, it's not, I've seen videos online of like crackheads literally just like reaching out and grabbing a ladder of a very fast moving train, to the point where it's like, holy shit, their arms should have got ripped off. Like, that's fucked, and you should never do that. There's no reason that you should do that. I mean, unless somebody's like about to like kill you or something, and you need, that's your best option, and it's like, okay, am I going to be killed for sure, or like maybe just 75% sure, you know? Hey, Captain Grimm, what's up, dude? I'm barely here. Oh man, any amount of your presence is so welcome here. We love you, dude. Cheers, Captain. Oh, and yeah, Captain, you're this man has been a huge support on my stream for like years now. So yeah, thank you, Captain. Thank you for your service. And you take all the time and self-care, etc., that you need. And we'll be here for you whenever you grace us with your delightful presence. Sister T just said a very inconsiderate and invalidating comment, which is, most of us struggled in school. It builds character. Shut the fuck up. That's maybe you didn't mean it like that, but that's not an appropriate response to telling to somebody telling you about their struggles with disability. So anyway, I was playing on the bridge, and I had hopped on the fly a number of times from that spot, because like when the trains come through that area, they go through really slow, so they're just kind of creeping along. Ooh, these are some steam trains. Nice. Look at that. What is that guy? Okay, I'm not gonna get sucked into this. So a lot of times these trains would just come creeping through, like as slow as a person can walk. Sometimes they'd be more at like jogging or running speed. And you know, I was just a little daredevil youngster, and I thought I was so cool. And nobody had told me about slack action. This is very important. If you don't know what slack action is, don't fucking touch trains, okay? Slack action is what happens when the train is like speeding up or slowing down or hitting brakes or hitting gas. There's a little bit of play between each of those cars in the couplers, you know? The couplers are the big metal things, what connects the trains, right? Never step on the coupler, okay? I wish that there was like a... Let me show you a picture. And my accident had nothing to do with couplers, but it's important to know. Train, coupler, Where's my images? Ah, here we go. Car coupler. Just show me the picture of it on the train. What the hell? Okay, here we go. This is the coupler. Oh. Here we go. That's the thing that holds the trains together. So it's a big ass, I think it's iron thing, and there's like a very small amount of play because it is a mechanical or like, you know, thing. And with a long string of cars, all of those little fractions of centimeters or millimeters or whatever add up. So when the train hits the brakes, there's a little bit of car compression or like play between cars. They can rock back and forth, and it's not just like when it's hitting the brakes either. Sometimes it could be if there's like a slight downhill or you know, slack action just happens, and it builds up along a string of cars, and it can cause irregular movement on your train car, which that particular time when I was hopping on the flight, it was about at running speed. It was a quicker one. I was feeling a little bit more daring that day, and the moment that I grabbed on to the ladder on the side of the train car to pull myself up, slack action affected that train car, and it had done like a kind of domino effect down the line, but I didn't notice or like really understand, but because it jerked a bit, I lost my footing, and I lost my foot. My foot slipped. I lost my footing, and my left foot slid underneath the wheel, and in fact, I believe 3 wheels went over my foot before I could pull it out from underneath the train. And fortunately, I didn't get caught on anything, because if you got like loose clothing or like shit hanging off of you, some people have gotten caught and get dragged, and there's nothing left of them. So if you think riding trains is cool and you want to try it sometime, do not do that until you're reasonably confident that you know how to without getting injured. Because I've said this before, but those trains do not give a fuck that you're there. They're giant steel and iron, and it's heavy machinery. It lays waste to your tender flesh. Okay, take it from me. David Cochina says, your adventures are some of the greatest American shows ever made. I think of you as a genius, not autistic at all. Oof, dude. I know you're trying to be like, I know that's supposed to be a compliment, but like autism is not like, I'm okay, no, that's being autistic doesn't mean that you're not intelligent. There are like mental like process. It's a condition that affects everything and how you process things. 'Cause that's literally what it is. But it's a different way of processing. It's not. What's the word? That's just not like a lot of autistic people are incredibly intelligent. They're not mutually exclusive. So now you know. Don't be an ableist. being autistic is a very big part of who I am, and it's extremely important to be aware of. Like, just in the same way that I am transgender and handicapped, like these are parts of me. That's like, I'm trying to think of, that's like you telling me that you, no, I actually can't think of like a good analogy right now. That comment just kind of like shorted my brain out, in a way. Go and watch my autistic series after this. That's, I'm giving you an assignment. Patty says, I knew a train was involved, but I didn't know you were already riding when you were so young. Okay, so that's the thing. I was 13 at the time, so it's been about 20 years, which is crazy to me. And yeah, let me just give you a background on that too. So I didn't ride trains then. I just played on them. I was a child, and a lot of people, before I started riding trains, just kind of assumed that I was super train core because of that. And that kind of gave me like a weird dysphoria kind of thing too, because it's like it was almost embarrassing to have to explain to people like, no, I actually just fucked up. I was a little kid. Like I'm not as hardcore as you think I am or whatever. And now I don't have to explain that to people, even though it was true at the time. Like I just grew up next to the railroad tracks, and not too far out from Minneapolis, where there's a number of yards. But I didn't like ride proper. I had gone on a couple of little joy rides, but not like I do now. But after that incident, oh yeah, and this ties back into the autism thing as well, because trains were definitely a special interest of mine at the time. I was a little insecure about it because I have a cousin who has a special interest in trains, and he was just like all about trains. He had all these models, talked about them all the time. It was so cool. And I was kind of self-conscious because I didn't want anybody to think that I was like copying his special interest, which I didn't know was a special interest at the time either. I didn't know what the fuck autism was back then. But yeah, I don't know. I just kept it on the DL. I felt like, especially growing up socialized as a little girl, like that's not something that is really like encouraged. That's not a girl thing to be interested in. I don't know. I was always like a tomboy or whatever. It was obvious that I was very genderqueer from an extremely young age, but I just didn't really feel comfortable expressing myself in that way back then, unfortunately. All right, I'm gonna do a cigarette. I got a smoke out here. Shit, and I was gonna bring that back into, oh yeah, so after my accident, I'm gonna get comfy here. Don't let me forget. Alright, wait. Do I have a lighter? Yes. Shoo. Hell yeah. Okay. So, I was young, I was very, like, low-key obsessed with trains, played on the train bridge constantly. That was, like, my safe, quiet place. It was really soothing. Like, that was where I would go to just kind of escape. And, after the accident, I just like completely ignored trains altogether. Like, you know, it's like if you are obsessed with sharks and a shark like brutally names you to the point where you're like in and out of the hospital and have to go to like physical rehab and shit for like 2 years, you might not want to be like, you might not want to watch Shark Week anymore, and you might not have posters of sharks up in your room anymore, and maybe you don't really want to watch movies with sharks in them anymore because it's like you're fucked up about it, right? So that's what I was like with trains. I was like, oh, like fuck trains. I hate trains. I didn't like. I always loved trains, but it was like, you know, I just completely ignored them for like 18 years or something like that. 20 years. How if my accident happened, it was 2001. And I started riding about 2.5 or less years ago. I can't do math right now. Holy shit, literally like 13 years ago. That's crazy. My birthday is the 13th. 13 is like it's a very momentous number in my life, actually. 13, 10, 11. So yeah, I ignored trains for like 11, 12 years, just completely. Or, fuck, how old am I? I'm 36 now. I was 13 when it happened. That was like literally half my life ago. That's so crazy. What, man, my numerology, syncopation, synchronization is like the craziest shit, man. If anybody does like numerology or tarot or like astrology, please hit me up in the Discord, because like, holy shit, I'm dying to know. My birthday's coming up. Give me readings for my birthday. Hit me up. David says, I think you are super intelligent. Yes, I am, and I'm autistic. I just said being autistic does not directly affect intelligence or your level of intellect or your capability to comprehend things. That's not what it is. It's a different way of processing. And there are levels of autism that affect people. .401 corn after 5 years of service. Fuck yeah, Captain. That's right. You've got what do they call that? Tenure. Forever, for life. Captain Grimm for life. Fuck yeah. You get to be part of the presidential team too if you want. You can be. You're just our pirate. You're a captain. That's your. Yeah. Dave is the VP. We got some other reprobates in the cabinet. We're gonna take the United States by storm. Living in a park right now, scrounging like a gutter punk. I just love you as all. That's awesome, man. I mean, not awesome that you're living in a park right now. I'm sitting on a windowsill. I've been bumming too, but yeah, I'm literally just telling you that autism doesn't affect intelligence. Like, just accept that. And don't be an ableist. Captain's naming off people who, what? Oh, I'm gonna see look up famous people with autism spectrum disorder. Oh, sick, yeah. Einstein, Darwin, Newton, Mozart, Courtney Love, Tim Burton. Hell yeah, dude. Seriously. Gnome, yep, hell yeah. All right, chat, raise your hands. Who is on the spectrum? Say hi. I want to see how many fellow autists we have in chat here. And bonus, if you're on the spectrum and you love trains, give me a hand wave and a choo-choo. Toot-toot. Hopping on one again after that kind of trauma took more guts than I've got for sure. Sherry, yes, that was me breaking through my deep trauma, and not just the trauma around the actual situation of getting run over by the train, but also like all of those things leading up to it, and like what was going on in my soul, as it were. And it just like it was, you know, like a character redemption arc, right? It was like fucking shonen anime leveling up status for me. That was my that was my final boss demon of the intergalactic fight club or whatever. And somebody asked earlier a question that I kind of skipped over, but I do want to address it. Tim Keesby says, for argument's sake, how does one learn what they need to know to be safe? I don't like train-splaining on my channel. That's not what I do. But it's there's no way to be 100% safe on a freight train. Freight trains are not built for people to be on. And even if you do figure out how to be safe when getting on and off a freight train, and you've done all of the research to know when and where they stop and why, like, you got to understand how trains work. You need to understand, like a lot of people just get a pin drop to them from their friends because they're like in the cool kid clique, and they just like get information handed to them, and I'm not interested in that. But you know, people do what they do, and that's none of my business. But like, in my opinion, to be like a real rider and a real hobo, you have to be some level of rail fan as well. So you need to know like a lot about why and how trains move, which ties into like moving of goods, and you know, economy, and supply and demand, and you know, not only that, but like how industrial yards work, and like why they do, like how maintenance works, like what it means when certain things are happening, and also how to not be seen. So that's all really, really important. There's like getting to the level where you are comfortable and informed enough to actually get on a freight train confidently and know where you're going. That's like studying to be a wizard, basically. You need a lot of background information. Like, I say a lot of the time that like actually riding trains is a really small part of being a rail rider. Like, that's the big payoff for all of the work and the research and knowledge that you obtain. That's like, you know, your big prize. And the rest of the time you're sitting in a bush taking notes or studying, or you know, getting information in other ways. I would say that in order to properly get to familiarize yourself with riding the rails, you need to meet rail riders first. Like actual rail riders, not just like any old oogle that's like, I'll put you on a train. Like, don't, you know, if the first thing that they do is flex that they ride trains, then that's not the person you want to talk to. Or at least they're not going to be like the end-all be-all of the information that you're going to want. So first you need to find where you can meet rail riders. Where do you meet rail riders? Well, if you don't know, then you need to do a little bit more research. But the subculture that rail riding is most prominent in is crust punk. So if you can find where punks are, real punks, not... I'm not going to go on a real versus fake punk rant right now, but if you can find where the punks are at, like the real punks, the activists, the ones that aren't just all talking and looks, right? The people that roll their sleeves up, get their hands dirty, and do real activism and whatnot. Typically, like look at anarchist book fairs or local anarchist events or activist gatherings or whatever, and don't be a total dweeb about it, and don't get in their face and ask them to explain train stuff to you, because if they are a good rider, they're not in a hurry to sit down and explain trains to you, like I'm struggling with. But yeah. And if you don't know how to meet punks or rail riders, just get into the rail fan scene. There's tons of YouTube videos online about just trains in general. Like, become a rail fan and learn about the railroad. Because if you're not interested in like railroad information and history in general, then like what are you riding trains for? If you're doing it just to be cool, then that's kind of dumb. Yeah, learn about trains. That's where you start. And read up on like the official railroad safety handbook for people that work at rail yards. That's a good start. Just start learning about trains. Eventually you'll meet somebody and, you'll figure it out. But it's really not for everybody. That's why everybody doesn't do it. You can just go ride Amtrak, too. Amtrak rocks. I just did a little Amtrak trip from here to San Diego so I could get to El Centro for some stupid shit. And that's the thing that took all my money from me. I don't know if anybody got down with the kickdown. I took off my shirt earlier in the stream, man. I hope somebody did. And if you did, thank you so much. I'll send you a thank you note afterward. There's links in the description there. I'm broke as a joke. I'm actually broker than a joke. I'm like, it's not even funny anymore. It's bad. Those U-Haul blankets are awesome. Hell yeah, they're great. Use them for everything. As a kid, I used to hear about people getting killed on the tracks in San Francisco. Yeah, I mean, we lost a young rider. Like, I don't know if we lost anybody to the rails this year that I know or have met. But a couple years ago, there was a young rider who hadn't had much experience, and they didn't realize how dangerous it can be, and they were kind of just sitting at the edge of the train car. I think the last picture that was taken of them was them with their feet dangling over the edge of the train car, and I believe it was slack action that shook them off of it, and they got annihilated. Rest in peace. It happens a lot, and not only that, but trains derail too. I've never spoken to anybody that has been... I spoke to an old timer that had been on a train that I don't want to repeat his story because I don't remember all the details, but it happens a lot. You're a lot more likely to get hit by a car or get in a car accident or like whatever, but it does happen. And actually, there was a couple of points during my first year of riding where there was one in particular. I'm itching my nose a lot because it's really itchy for some reason. I was doing the High Line, and I was waiting on a train. Nothing came during the time that I was expecting one to come through, so I took a walk over to like a gas station to go get some snacks or some shit. And I was sitting out front eating my snacks, and one of the rail yard workers saw me and was like, "Hey, you a rider?" And I was like, no, because that's what you say. I don't know about any of you folks that ride, but I don't, like, if somebody knows, they know. They look at me and they're like, yeah, that person rides trains. It's obvious if you know what you're looking for. But if they don't know what they're looking for and they're just guessing and I say no, then it's for the best that they don't know. So I said no, and he's like, okay, you might like to know that there was a derailment on the eastbound, just however many miles from here, and that's why there's no trains running right now. So, like, not only did he clock me, but he also knew that I would care to get that information, and it was very helpful. But like, if I like that was the train that if I had been at the yard at the time when it departed, that's the train I would have gotten on. But I decided I wanted like a later ride because I wanted to enjoy the. Oh no, it was cold as fuck. It was in Montana. It had just snowed to the east pretty good. I was catching the break in the snowstorm between spots. That's why I had gotten off when I did, because I didn't want to freeze to death riding through the night. So I stayed in Havre for a couple of nights and then was trying to hop out after that. And the snow had gotten so packed that it had caused the train to derail. So I probably wouldn't have gotten on that one anyway, but I could have, and it was the one right before the next one that I was waiting for, which is crazy. So that's how I found out I wasn't getting a ride that day. Crazy is thinking 36 is old. I'm being facetious, Noam. 36 is the new 22, okay? David says, don't mean to offend, I apologize. It's okay, man. I'm not offended. I'm just explaining information to you. That's an autistic thing. I have very little ability to moderate my tone, so people think that I'm like mad a lot or like upset when I'm not. So yeah, that's another autism thing. Oh yeah, and I asked people to raise their hand in chat if they're autistic, and I'm about to get to that. Awesome, great. Serling says, waving fan of trains. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Angel says, I'm also on the spectrum and also my son. Fuck yeah. David Cochina says, choo choo with the hands up. Repeat Defender says, I'm ADHD and love trains, never hop myself. That's okay, I didn't ask if you hop trains. It's just, are you autistic and do you love trains? That's awesome. Gnome waves with a choo-choo. Awesome. Angel likes airplanes. That's cool. Hell yeah. I've never met an airplane autistic. Very interesting. Walks with Wings. What's up? Gardening Angel Band. Neurospicy Train Lover here. Fuck yeah. Dave, ADHD among other things, and trains are really neat. AJ and I just went to the huge museum in Sacramento. I know, dude, I saw those pictures. That was awesome. I didn't know you were ADHD too. That makes sense. That's why we vibe. Hell yeah. We need this country run by ADHD people. Yes. A vote for me is a vote for trains. Hell yeah, we got a lot of awesome people in here. That's awesome and wonderful. Hobo Cyclist says, first rail kids I met were in Haight-Ashbury. The real ones, hardcore. Yeah, man. I find a lot of inspiration in the rail rider community. There's a lot of crazy stories and people with complicated and interesting backgrounds, and a lot of them are good friends of mine, and I love them dearly. Dave says your compliments are coming off creepy. Whose compliments? Mine? I hope not. I'm not a creep, I promise. I'm just weird. In a good way. I think you're talking maybe to somebody else, though. Oh. A deleted message, okay. Ew, yeah, that is creepy. Okay. Ew. Okay, brother, I don't know what you're going through, but I'm... Oh, no, damn it. That was an accident, okay. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to put you on timeout. I'm not trying to ban you. But get a hold of yourself and then come back correct later. I'm going to put you in timeout for 24 hours. Alright, there we go. You can keep watching, but I'm not going to read weird comments like that. Ew. Ew. Gross. Now I'm just reading their deleted messages. Ugh. Okay. Throw cash. Yeah, if you love me, give me money. I don't want hugs. That's weird. And I don't want pity or sympathy. I just want like dollars. So if you're wanting to show me some love, it's my birthday coming up. I'm broke. I'm handicapped. I'm working on getting a new leg. I got run over by a literal fucking freight train. Send me dollars. That's right. I'm capitalizing on my disposition. Don't hate. Tim Keesby says, sent you a PayPal. Thanks again. Oh, thank you, dude. That's so sweet. You're the bomb. I'm moved. I'm touched. I'm very grateful. And that goes to anybody else that kicked down that I'm not seeing notifications for. Appreciate you. Let's see. How do you use the bathroom on the train? There's no bathroom on a train, dude. It's a freight train. You pee off the side or down a hole or something, or pee on yourself. I don't know. Maybe you don't give a fuck and you just pee on yourself. Some people do. Don't hate. Sometimes you meet a crusty oogle with pee-pee Carhartts and they'll give you the disgusting filthy shirt off their back and the last half of their cigarette that they rolled out of snipes that they found on the ground. And they're wonderful people despite all the fucked up shit they've been through, and they're still kicking. So that is a part of the culture, indeed. I am not a PP Carhartts guy myself, but you know, sometimes after a few days on a train wearing the same pants and peeing down a hole, you get little driblets on you, and it's just unavoidable. And if you gotta poop, then you better have brought a bag to poop in. I've pooped in Satan's doggy bags before, and grocery bags. I've only pooped twice on a train though, honestly. Usually it's like, if you've got healthy bowel movements, you can just kind of wait. It's okay. You just save it for later. Dave was nonverbal till 8 years old. Wow. I didn't know that either. That's wild. Dave says, I warned him. Yeah, you did. You gave him more warning than he deserved, I think. Don't hate, donate. That's right, baby. Lol, driblets, yep. Sometimes you gotta take a tinkle on a choo-choo. Happy early birthday, Corn. The heck? Okay, this got weird, lol. Hey, I didn't, if you got any other questions about riding trains, this is a rare time where I will do a little train splain. The live stream is almost 2 hours long, so I might as well just use the last like 20 minutes to just scratch that itch for you. Here you go. You have a real live, actual in the flesh, live streaming, currently live, actual modern day rail rider, hobo, and person who got run over by a train and still rides. So use your time wisely. Ask a good question, because I don't do this very often. Oh, and while you're thinking up your big deep questions that I'm definitely going to answer and not ignore unless they're really, really not appropriate or whatever, I took video of me riding last summer, a bunch of video, and I'm sitting on a bunch of video still. I made a video that is better than any of the other train riding videos, which is like, I think 3 maybe, that I've put up on my channel. I'm really proud of this one, and it is available on my Patreon. You can go and pledge $1 a month and have access to all the content that I upload there. I am going to be doing some editing, probably like after this stream I'll start actually. Gotta eat something first if I can find something. Anyway, I'm gonna work on editing that video and censoring it so that I don't get another strike on my channel. But there's more videos too, and I started working on the second one. I became discouraged because I got a strike from YouTube for less than a minute long preview that I uploaded to patrons only. I think only like 10 people saw it, and something about it tripped out the algorithm and I got it pulled, and I got a strike on my channel and I couldn't post for a week, and that sucked. So I'm gonna try again now that it's been a while. Hopefully I don't get another strike, and I am gonna be releasing it on, I think, Sunday with we're gonna have a premiere. I want to do it on Sunday, so keep an eye out for that. And in the meantime, if you want to see it uncensored, join my Patreon and go take a look and see some of my other stuff. I did some like beet harvest videos and things like that, vlogs that I don't upload anywhere else. And I've got more train videos, and that's gonna be really nice for me, because then while I'm here posted up in pain and I can't do the things that I want to be doing, at least I can be reminded of good times in the not so distant past when I wasn't in the position that I'm in now. So that'll be cool. The videos are old, they're from last summer, but it'll get me through this time. So keep an eye out for that Sunday, unless something crazy happens. But no, I'm come hell or high water, I'm releasing a premiere on Sunday of my video with parts censored, and I hope that you join me for that too. All right, I'm gonna see if anybody asks me interesting questions. Let's see. Hobo Cyclist asks, you ride alone or with friends? I typically ride alone because of my traumatic history, being run over by that freight train. I get kind of like nervous and like scared. It really fucks up my PTSD to see other riders doing more reckless things than I would. Like, a lot of times they're not really like being overtly unsafe, but they're being less cautious than I would be, which is very cautious. So like, I like to ride with when I have ridden with people, a few of the times have been with personal friends of mine, like close friends that aren't really like into rail riding, or like haven't ridden before but have been interested, and they have put in the work to like get their gear together and shown, you know, interest and commitment in doing that. So I'll take them on like a joyride or something, and because they're first time riders and I'm the one that's teaching them, then I get to be like, don't do this because it's unsafe and whatever, and that makes me a lot more comfortable because, you know, they're being cautious. And then when I ride with people that have ridden a lot more than me and are more daring and whatever, it like I get really sketched out sometimes when they're climbing around, or you know, it scares me a little bit. But I do ride with friends. I just typically ride alone. It's the best. Like, nobody can bother you. You know, you're on a moving freight train. You basically don't exist. It's fucking amazing. Walks with Wings says, I saw that video. I really liked when you were hanging out in the underpass. I'm not sure which one that is. Probably the Minneapolis one that I was talking about earlier. Sharon says, have you ever rode train in the cold? If anyone does, dress warm. Yes. Yeah, I just told a story about riding in the snow. A lot of people do it. It's sketch, and that's one of the biggest things that people don't consider about riding cross country, is that you really do have to be kind of a weather junkie too. Like, that's another one of my special interests, is weather and like how it works and how it moves. So I'm really good at reading the weather and making forecasts, which is a huge asset to me. But like, if you don't have that knowledge and information and you're riding into a fucking blizzard, that's potentially a death sentence. Shoestring did a few intense winter rides that you should go watch. They're amazing. I've definitely done some cold weather stuff, and I'm kind of an extremophile. Not kind of, I am an extremophile. I did like 6 or so summers in Slab City, and I grew up in Minneapolis and Minnesota, and lived outside for a lot of my adult life, and you know, I did some winters outdoors, so I know how to survive in the elements to an extreme degree, and that's really important. Otherwise, if you don't understand all that, stick to more temperate climates. But if you want to get closer to being able to ride yourself, work on that too. Like, put together a backpack, go out camping for days, just with your pack. Go wander around, experience different weather, dial your gear in. Always carry a tarp. Gnome asks, what's the fine if you get caught on the train? What happens when they spot you? Do they stop the train, or is there someone waiting when it does stop? There is definitely security, and that's like a whole thing. I don't want to go on a rant. Oh, shit. I need to get back inside. I think my phone's getting too hot. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Yeah, that's like an entire subject in knowing how to ride trains that I couldn't. I mean, I could, but that would make my stream a lot longer. But that's why it's important to get to know how the yard that you're trying to hop out of works, and where security is, and how they operate. So if you're an anarchist or an activist, or you do some type of criminal activity, maybe you are an urbexer or something, that knowledge and information does help and inform your ability to get on and off trains without being seen or detected. And that's a really important component of riding. And the fine, it depends. I'm gonna get a drink of water here. Oh, actually, I'm gonna drink my delicious Thai tea. Where's my straw? Dang. Yeah, that's a good stream. That's a nice, long, good stream. Hey, I like it. Cheers, reprobates. I'm not fucking off quite yet. This is a good stream. We're doing good. Hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying. Cheers, folks. Shit, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the fine. There's different types of fines. Satan, go lay down. And like charges that they can get you with. But, and I don't want to give too much detail and information, because, you know, it's not exactly illegal activity, but you can get trespassing charges for being caught on railroad property. Like, once you're on the ballast, that's, you know, and like, they have security in the rail yards, and so it's like hard, you know, it's harder to get into an actual rail yard. You're infiltrating somewhere that you're not supposed to be, right? And there's a difference between bulls and rail yard workers, right? Like, the bulls, they're rail cops, they're actual police. They can shoot you. I think that's what they told me anyway when I first got caught on railroad property. But I was able to de-escalate the situation. I guess maybe on another stream I'll do wildest stories about whatever, like times I got caught or something, and keep it to a topic, because I could go on a tangent about that for a while, and we're getting close to 2 hours here. But yeah, you can get trespassing charges if you're fucking with like certain types of freight. They can hit you with a felony, because it's like then you're tampering with goods, and you know, if you get caught in different places, there's varying levels of charges that you can get. So yeah, that's why you want to not be seen. Tim says, I would think a scanner would be helpful. Yes, it can be. And that goes for even if you're not riding trains. If you're just a rail fan, having a scanner is super cool. Just don't talk to them on the scanner ever, or I'll come and beat you up. Just listen. Be silent, like a ninja in the forest. Very interesting stuff. But you don't need a scanner. It does help, especially if you're trying to do something a little bit more complicated. All right, let's see. Any other questions? This is rail train-splaining. Last few minutes of the stream. Any burning questions? Now's the time. Because unless that's the topic I'm speaking on in the future, I'm going to ignore those types of questions. Leah says, I like this hairstyle on you. Looks great. Thanks. I actually, it's the same hairstyle that I've had. I just kind of like didn't swoop it over like I usually do. Just took a shower last night and kind of scrumpled it up. So I kind of like it too, but I'm actually, I have a haircut scheduled for Friday. I'm gonna look fresh. In New Zealand, it's 10K fine and jail for trespassing. We don't have train riding culture. No shit. Yeah, who can afford that? That's crazy. Terrible. I still want to do it though. Meditation, nature, and music says, what's the longest ride you ever been on? That is a good question. It was, I think, 3.5 consecutive days or something like that. Where? Oh, shit. Trying to think. I know I've been on a train for 3 days straight before. A couple of times. Yeah, I started riding cross country. Like a lot of folks, when they start, they'll do like a little, a few hour jaunt with their friends from like a pretty well established hop out in a town that has pretty good train core subculture presence. But I was on a fucking mission from God trying to get on my first ride. So my first ride, I sat on that train for like 48 hours. And I could have said, like, if I had, like, there was no way that a person for their first time could have been, like, I could have sat on that train and held it all the way to LA. But I didn't. I did 48 hours. I think that's pretty good for a first run, honestly. So yeah, I started with cross country rides. That's like what I do. Short rides don't even feel like really riding to me, you know, like 6 hours on a train, that ain't shit. That's a nap and a good smoke session. I love it, like it's great, but like I just don't really feel like I don't feel like my train riding needs are met with anything less than 24 hours on a train. Honestly, that's a good question. Critter Bones is asking, what was your longest downtime in between trains? Since I started, this is my longest. No, actually, I rode a train a few weeks ago. No longer than 2 months, I think. I was about to say, oh shit, it's been like five months, but no, I rode up to. I did the I-5 corridor pretty recently, and that was awesome. And I uploaded. No, I never made like a nice video to upload. I'm gonna upload train videos this week. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. We are segueing from trauma processing to train videos now. That's what we're doing. Dara Gropper says, hey, Corin, tried to send PayPal love for you and Satan, but link isn't working. I can access PayPal directly. Just want to make sure it's sent to you. Still under the same name. Yes. Thank you, Dara or Dara. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Yeah, it's corneliusvango@gmail.com. If you need to type it in. Same way it's spelled here. And thank you so much for putting in that extra effort. I'm sorry it's the link's not working for you. If anybody else hits that link, let me know if it worked, okay? Repeat Defender says, I thought it was just me. I'm glad you said something. Here, let me just post the link, unless a mod or something gets to it first. Oh, there we go. Dave hit it. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. And thanks for kicking down, folks. Repeat Defender asks, wait, no, I just read that. Never mind, sorry. Thank you. The Truth Party one says, Corn, could you tell us if Satan rode with you the entire time? Where else would she go? Like, I don't know how Satan is going to get to where I'm going if I don't have her with me. I don't think I've ever ridden a train without Satan. Have I? And I'm trying to think of from the beginning, like some people keep track of how many trains they've ridden or like how many miles they've ridden or whatever. But like from the beginning, I was like, I'm never going to fucking remember and I don't care. I'm not doing it for that. I could maybe sit down and think about it for a while and make like an educated guess. But like, I do remember that by the end of my first year of riding, I had made at least 7,000 miles on freight trains, like riding, at least. And that was just like a conservative guess after my first year because a friend had asked. And then they were like thinking about it and they were like, it's gotta be more than that, dude. So like, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you, and it doesn't fucking matter. If I was a prideful person, I would remember that because I don't know, I'm not to toot my own horn again, but I feel like my first year of riding was pretty impressive for a greenhorn that had no teacher or road dog. I think that's fucking cool, and I'm proud of myself. I rode hard, and so did Satan. from a baby. The truth party, I started riding like less than 3 years ago. Satan's like 8 or 9 now, maybe even 10. No, she's got to be like 9. I don't know. That's like a quarter of the way around the world. Yeah, I did a bunch of long hauls, and it was good. It was good for me. It was like meditative, you know? I mean, honestly, like, I don't meditate better than when I'm meditating on a train. It's just like, and maybe that's like an autistic thing too, but it's kind of when it's ripping across the countryside and it's at a steady pace, you know, then it's really loud, but it's like a constant kind of sound, and it's like overwhelming in a way that like it just kind of cancels out all other sensory input, and like there's absolutely zero chance of anybody like walking up on you or like, you know, when I'm riding, people know that I'm riding, so they're not gonna like send me text messages asking me for shit or like needing me to do something, because they know I'm on a train. I'm not available. I've no clipped. I don't exist. I'm in the space between the graphics glitch. So it's really, really soothing and peaceful. Meditation, nature, music says, one more question, if I may. Thanks for answering my first. No problem. What is your favorite route going out west? Southern U.S. or northern U.S.? That's a big question. Like, but not really also, because it's like, there... Of each one, or like overall? I'm not sure what you're asking me, actually. Truth Party says, we love you. Oh, thanks. I love you guys too. Cheers, reprobates. We're almost wrapping up here, but people are asking good questions, so I'm just going to keep answering questions as long as they're being asked. This is now bonus hours. So if you're here and you just came in and you have absolutely no idea what's going on, that's totally fine. You can stick around. You don't need to know all of the background to hear answers to people's questions or ask questions about rail riding. I won't even make fun of you for asking stupid ones. So yeah, my time is open and available to you. As long as people still have questions, I'll be here. And then when you run out, then I'm going to close the stream and never transplane again, probably. I hope. Maybe I can't make that promise. I mean, but not, yeah, I'm not going to talk about this on unrelated streams. Like going out to the West Coast through. I feel like maybe your question is based on a misunderstanding of how lines work, or like if you're asking me where my favorite place to ride through is, that's a different question. But like, there's like only so many routes that go like north to south or east to west. At least on like main lines, which is what I'm gonna, I'm typically riding, since I do typically cross country rides. This summer I really wanted to, and last summer I did a little bit of like shorter lines that go through like more rural, like not through major cities. But if you get to know kind of how the supply chain works, right? Like, then you can make educated deductions about where different lines will be passing through and like where they join up to the main line and that type of thing. And there's different types of trains too. Like some of them are there's different levels of priority. So some of them go much slower and make more frequent stops, and some of them just like tear ass. My favorite places to ride through is entirely dependent on the time of year. Like this time of year, I would really, really love to be in the Midwest, and I was planning to be, but I'm stuck here still getting my leg made. But yeah, like late summer, early fall, it's awesome to be up in the north. Do you ride hot shots? Yes. I ride them all. All the things. No, that's not true. There's stuff like trash trains and military like trains and stuff that you can ride a trash train. I just wouldn't. Or like trains that are just all tankers or like chemical trains. That's not something that I would ride. Yeah, mostly I'm riding hot shots if I'm trying to get somewhere that I want to be in a timely manner. And if I really actually want to be there in a timely manner, then let's be honest, I'm doing Amtrak, right? Because you know what they say. It's if you're riding freight trains on a time schedule, you're not going to be on time. Like the train schedule doesn't care, or at least give yourself like a 2-day buffer in case you miss your train or like the schedule is fucked up or something, or any number of reasons. I like two days buffer on each like end of ride, like between each ride, I guess. I don't know, like at least 2 days. I mean it's better if I try to head to a place like a week in advance if I'm trying to get there, because I just don't like the stress of being like, holy shit, I'm late, I need to get to this thing, and then like that causes you to make maybe more reckless decisions when you're getting on a train, and become like frustrated, and that's just not how I like to ride. I'm gonna do it easy, and yeah, if I need to get somewhere on time, I'm just gonna fucking take Amtrak. It's not that expensive. I can spange up enough money for an Amtrak ticket playing mandolin outside, in a day or two tops. Fucking love the way you describe riding, being in between, totally alone, the vibrations, being meditative, sounds wonderful, especially as a fellow autistic. Yeah, and that's kind of the vibe I try to capture in my train videos. It's a lot more atmospheric. So if you really liked this video, I would highly recommend that you go to my channel. Let's look up some of my... I'm going to drop some links to my train videos here. Oops, I'm going to put this over here. And give folks a chance to ask more questions while I do that. I literally just typed trains into the fucking search. Oh, here. There we go. Now you can see me. This is kind of a fun setup, huh? Mish is going to come in tomorrow, and we're going to hang up their art up in here proper. I got some nice drywall hangers, and yeah, it's going to look nice in here, and their stuff won't be just sitting out like it is. It's fine, but I don't like seeing it so precariously set all over the place. Okay. My channel. Oh, I don't need to search me. I can just do this. View your channel. Do I have a playlist for trains? Hey, there's me. I'm live right now. Here is the first one that I did. And it's freight train ride from New Orleans to Meridian. Almost. There we go. Oh, hey, here's me. That's kind of fun. Let's see. Oh, cool. Here's my series, Where the Hell Did Cornelius Van Go? This was the last series I think I did before I started riding trains. That's kind of awesome. Copy link address. I'm just going to post that because it's awesome. That's a whole different adventure, but that was a great adventure. Miscellaneous off-grid eats. No, I don't have a fucking train playlist. Okay, I gotta make a train playlist, I guess. Oh, that's not what I'm trying to watch. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Oh yeah. The one I've got pinned. How do I... Home. Okay. I guess I'm just terrible at YouTube. No, YouTube is like a really not intuitive interface, I must say. I'm just going to type in Cornelius train. Cornelius train. Nope, that's not it. I just had to see what would happen. Okay, there's my one. This is the one that's got the most views. It's honestly not even, and that's the one I put the link for. It's honestly like not even the best one. Oh, here's me riding a caboose in Minneapolis. That's a short. Copy. Beep. Rob K just kicked down $10 in stream, in super chat. Thank you so much, Rob K. I really appreciate that. And also, just for the folks that do want to get down with the kickdown, make if you can, try and do it through one of the links in the description, because YouTube takes a big fat cut. But I do appreciate it, and I will get most of that money. Hell yeah. Alright. What other train videos? I'm just gonna do the work for you. This is now a long stream. As long as, yeah, I'm just chilling now. This is how people stream a lot. Oh hey, this is cool. This is 24 hours on the High Line. That's not a flex, it's just a statement, you know, like my homie Emmett, my cherished friend is who I went riding with, and this was their first ride. And oh man, I miss Emmett. I wanted to see them this summer too. I guess they were like hanging out with some crusties, and these like oogles were, or like, I don't even know if they were proper oogles. They were just like, oh, you think you're so cool, 24 hours ain't shit or whatever. And they're like, yeah, I know, like it's not, I don't know, like some people get really weird about train clout. It's super awkward. Riding trains is not a personality. Sorry to say it. Okay, that's the High Line video. It's awesome. Here's a short video of not too long before that ride that I described earlier, where the train got derailed just ahead of me east out of Havre, and that's why the trains weren't coming through. This was on the way to there, like, it's short. Oh, hey, here's some shoestring. Ride in Pennsylvania, that's awesome. Oh, that's really short. Pittsburgh to Philly. Oh, that's cool. Here's another short. Sick. Oh yeah, I forgot to send that. There we go. Deep. Oh, Dave's going for a hike. Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for joining us. I'm just, yeah, I can handle a stream here. I'm doing bonus for the newbies. Catch up. We're just hanging now, and I'm stoned. Hey, Satan. I love knowing that Dave is gonna go walk happy right now. That's really cool. It makes me happy. I love knowing that my buddy's walking the Dougal. An Oogle's dog is called a Dougal. Oh, this one's fun. Train hopping Minneapolis to Chicago. Yeah, I really don't have that many videos up, and they're all like old now. I was still a little newbie, and not as cool as I am now. I was pretty cool, but not as cool as I am now. And man, yeah, I'm actually really excited to start editing these new train videos. This is now a future series and Sunday premiere. What is the word? A promotional stream. There we go. Happy Dog is the cutest old guy ever. Fuck yeah. Kayleen says, got here late. Hey, reprobates. Howdy, Corn. What's up? You picked the perfect live stream to come in late to, because I'm kind of just kicking it now. And I'm still taking train questions, and I'm posting links to some of my other train videos, which is not very many. There's like 3 full-length videos and then a few shorts, because I've been pretty careful about what I show on my channel, because I don't want to be the asshole that's like blowing things up for people, and I don't want to like exploit like a subculture, you know, because there's definitely being from Slabs, I'm using my ear thing as a fidget toy. This thing's awesome. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh no, I spaced out. Oh, being from Slabs, I've experienced, like, I've had to assess like the nuances of representation and how to represent like a subculture or you know, because representing a subculture can go wrong, and like I don't want to claim to represent a subculture. Like I would never say like I am Slab City. Like I define, you know, like I am the slabber. Like that's absurd. I am a slabber, and I have put in my time. You know, I've put in my time. I've walked the walk. I'm not like, you know, I didn't just move to Slabs 2 weeks ago, and now I've got a slab name and you know, call myself a slabber and try to make decisions for the community or whatever like that. I didn't start making videos about my slab experience until I was very familiar with the community and comfortable in my role within the community. And there have been points like earlier on before my work really like stood on its own, and like, you know, my work speaks for itself. But there were definitely some people early on that like accused me of like using Slab City to for clout, you know, like, or like appropriating slab culture or whatever. And like, you know, it was literally just like a hater or two like talking shit because they thought that I was like rich because I have a YouTube channel. And back then I had like, you know, a couple thousand subscribers or whatever. I was not making money on YouTube at all. Like, people were sending me gifts from my Amazon wish list, and actually like a number of people sent me a bunch of cool shit. It was like, it was popping off for a minute there. Like, people were mailing me stuff in like the early days when I was building up the library, and that like a lot of the library was made possible because of those contributions. And you know, so I was doing a lot, but like I was not, you know, I was not making money like that, and I don't make money like that now. I've got enough to get by day to day most of the time, not in the last few days, but you know, hopefully after this stream, I'll be pleasantly surprised by folks that kick down. But oh, here's my breakdown of my gear. So like I've already had to kind of contend with that through my Slab City content. And you know, now I've been doing it for long enough that people don't say shit like that anymore, except for like, you know, random ass people, because you know, there's a lot of people on the internet, they like to say stuff about stuff they don't know about. But it was important to me to become a slabber and like be authentic in that before representing myself in that way online. And so with that experience, I try to hold on to that through representing train culture and you know, the distinct subcultures that are associated with the railroad. So yeah, it's hard to, because like you want to be real and authentic about the subculture, but you don't want to reveal everything, because that's part of why you get entrusted with more of the knowledge of the culture, because you aren't throwing it out all over the place and using it for your own gain. So once you start abusing that and your status in that subculture, then you will have it removed. And I think that's really beautiful about certain fringe cultures that I associate myself with. I think that's actually really good, actually. So I'm wow, my voice is like really dropping this week. Holy shit. Now that I've got my hormone dose like leveled out and everything's all good, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do a bunch of push-ups after this stream too. Fuck. Did anybody? Yeah. Okay, never mind. P.S. You're not old. I'm nearly 54. With a knackered body, crap new knee, and disabled after nursing. Plus a messed up head. I want to... Is that how you make that face? Ugh. I probably look like one of those cringe TikTok kids. Wow. I'm so stoned. You're not old. 54 ain't old. I'm like, when I say old about myself, I'm just being a silly goose. I feel young. I don't feel a day over 25, to be honest. Hobo Cyclist, thanks for dropping in. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep getting really, really stoned. Yeah. And what else am I gonna do? Let's see if I got any more train videos to post in the chat. Let's see. That's my gear. No, I think that's actually kind of it. Here. Did I post the Pittsburgh to Philly? Yeah. Yeah. Corn, isn't it a trip that you've got a bunch of long-term old lady followers? Hell yeah. Raise your hand in chat if you're an old lady. I love old ladies. They really do make the world go round. All right. Satan, what do you think, huh? You think we did good today, Satan? Did we get all the points covered? Everything? Oh yeah, I'm also going to post my prosthetic series. Let's see. Do I have it in the series? I'm just going to post the first one. This is when I had my white dreads. So you can make fun of me if you want. Here you go. Oop. But that is the whole, I actually made the whole series about the leg fitting process, so you can get kind of an idea of what it's like and why it takes so long, because it's, you know, it's not just a matter of like getting, you know, you don't just like pick one out off the wall and like put it on. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So there's that. Oh, hey. All right, now raise your hand if you're an old man. Kim's Nature Channel, we got old ladies. Hell yeah, old ladies in the house. Sherry P, Kaylee and Rickle. Fuck yeah. Love it. Where's my old fellas? Chuck. Sup? Excellent. Critter Bones. Yeah, buddy. Rob K. I love me some old timers. You guys are great. Really. And yeah. You guys keep me going. And now I'm going to be shocked, but raise your hand if you're an old they them. Or a genderqueer individual. I want to see if we got any old thems in here. The gender inclusive term is cowpoke. Fuck yeah. Alright. I did not expect that. Oh. Chuck says, I'm just a freak. Me too, man. Me too. Okay. Last chance to ask a good question about trains, because I'm not going to do this again. From here on out, you just have to watch my atmospheric videos. I'm gonna roll a smoke. If there's any questions, I'm gonna answer them, and and then fuck off. And then if there aren't any questions, I'm just gonna fuck off. Soon, not yet. Get down with the kick down. Put some money in my wallet, baby. Satan's gotta eat. Satan's gotta eat tonight. Satan's gotta eat. Satan's gotta eat tonight. Alright. Satan's gotta eat. Do, do, do. Satan's gotta eat. Do, 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 do. She's gonna eat your soul. She's gonna eat your soul. She's gonna tear your ass up. Not like that. She's gonna drink it all down. She's gonna lay on the floor and wiggle all around. Satan's gotta eat tonight. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, Satan. Satan's gotta eat. Doo-doo, get down. Get down with the kick down. Oh man, I'm rolling the shittiest cigarette I've ever rolled in my fucking life. Come on and get down. Get down with the kick down. Come on, get down. There's links in the description. This is like, you guys might think I'm being really weird, but like, you should see me when I'm busking. That's how you stop caring. You put yourself in a position where you get really, really hungry and you don't have any money, but you have a guitar or whatever instrument you play. Oh, hell yeah, here's my original what happened to my leg video. There we go. Boop. Come on, get down. Get down with the kick down. Yeah, and then you spend like 5 hours on the sidewalk just yelling at people, singing into the void. You start getting really, really silly and you stop giving a shit altogether about anything at all. Crazy. Oh hey, I think this is my most viewed video. Kayleen kicked a little something. Thank you. Appreciate that. How is train riding in Alaska? That is a good question. And I'm going to see if there's any other questions before that. Sherry says, oh, in answer to my question about old thems, she says, I'm not, but learned a whole lot about using gender inclusive terms from you. Excellent. I love hearing that. That's so cool. That's awesome. Much love from Joanne in rainy Lancashire, UK. Again, well done on your sobriety. Thank you. You're welcome here if you ever get over here. Awesome. Lots of old railways. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm kind of on a story arc where I'm trying to get basic medical needs met. That's why I'm being such a fucking spanger right now. Yeah, I'm spanging hard because of that. But once I get that out of the way, then you know, maybe I'll find some work for a little while and put down a few grand, or maybe my channel will take off a little bit more as I continue to focus on it, and folks continue to support what I'm doing. Because I come in peace. I'm not an egomaniac. I'm just an artist, and I really care about what I do, and I think it's important. But yeah, maybe, you know, we'll see. And then, yeah, once I'm able to stack some adult money, then I'll do some travels abroad. But I can't do beats this year. Sucks. Spicoli asks, okay, yeah, that's the question. How is train riding in Alaska? I have not ridden a train in Alaska, and like, you can do it, but they don't move freight by train as much anymore. So mostly it's like, I mean, they do up from Anchorage, because there's, or not Anchorage, yeah, they do. And I think the train runs down to Whittier, and there's a port maybe there. I can't remember it, but yeah, I wasn't riding trains when I was in Alaska. I did want to, and I looked into it, but I didn't have as much knowledge as I do now, or did when I first started, and I didn't meet anybody that rode that could give me advice at the time, so I just didn't try it. But I learned that there's only the one rail line that goes north to south, or south to north, and it goes from Whittier to Fairbanks, I believe, or maybe a little bit past, I'm not sure. I have to look at a map. I know Shoestring did it. Kick you a little something on Cashapp, Corn. Thank you, Kaylin. Thank you so much. Sherry says, I've been sitting here all night trying to remember what you called the car you were traveling around in for a while. King Ratchet, baby. Yeah, rewatch that video series. I don't usually, like, I do watch my old videos sometimes when I'm getting ready to make new videos, because it kind of gets my creative juices flowing, and then I can also like critique myself and be like, okay, I really like this, but you know, I could have done this better, like, or this cut's way too long and it's boring, or you know, like, I can pick up the pace. So maybe I'll watch I think I'm gonna watch my King Ratchet series tonight. Ooh, I'm gonna play it in the Discord server. Yeah, we're gonna watch King Ratchet in the Discord server. So I'm gonna set that up for this evening if anybody wants to join me. That's gonna be fun. And I'll work on sewing my jacket while I'm watching that with you guys. Oh yeah, that sounds really fun. How far will my $200 cargo series watch party? Join the Discord. King Ratchet, yep. Boxerman says, late but very old man. Hell yeah. Sick. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm gonna fuck off, and I'm gonna set up that watch party, even if it's just me and like one other person or nobody else, I don't care. But if there's a bunch of people, that'd be fucking awesome. And yeah, we do crafts. Okay, join the Discord. Don't jump on trains if you don't know what you're doing. And yeah, thank you for joining me today, and thank you to everybody that kicked down. I love you guys. Take care. See you in the Discord server.